these cards have to be issued. There'll be issuance procedures. And these procedures will be based on other documents. You're going to walk up to some motor vehicles clerk and say, here's my documentation, give me a REAL ID. So the security of the REAL ID depends on the security of those breeder documents. Also depends on the integrity of that motor vehicles clerk who's going to issue the REAL ID based on those documents. And we know these people make mistakes, and they also can be bribed. I mean, several 9/11 terrorists got legitimate Virginia driver's license in fake names because they bribed a motor vehicles clerk. It doesn't matter how good the ID card was. It doesn't matter how good the authentication procedures were. It doesn't matter how good the issuance procedures were. If the DMV clerk can be bribed, it all goes out the window. On the other side, this ID has to be verified. Right? At some point, you're going to show this REAL ID to a policeman, to a officer at an airport, and they are going to take that card and go into a database. There's some database that has all the information that's on the card, and that database is stored somewhere. Well, perversely, this all makes identity theft easier. Right? The REAL ID database becomes a one-stop shop for identity thieves. And getting a REAL ID in somebody else's name suddenly becomes very, very valuable. So instead of having a distributed system, you might think of your wallet, where you have a bunch of credit cards, a bunch of IDs. If someone to impersonate you, they couldn't impersonate it all. They just do one or two things. Right? As REAL ID subsumes all those other things, it's a much more attractive target. It's much more valuable once stolen, and a much more effective form of identity theft.